The Renovations and Alterations programme has several modules, all dedicated to the different types of pathway that you may be doing. In this movie, I will be showing you the Concrete Pathway module. I will click on the letter P here, and click Pathway Concrete. This will bring the module into my pricing sheet. I now need to enter the dimensions of my concrete pathway into the red cells at the top of the pricing sheet. The pathway will be 15 linear metres long, and the width will be 0.8 linear metres. The programme has used these numbers to instantly calculate the length of the edging and the area of the path. Now I need to put in the excavation depth. This is 0.3 linear metres. My sub-base depth is 0.19 linear metres, and my blinding depth is 10 mil, or 0.01 linear metres. The programme automatically calculates the finished surface depth for me. If I look down the pricing sheet, I can see that my concrete pathway is priced. But let's look at the detail and ensure the estimate meets my exact needs and the client requirements. I am going to be using a 1.5 tonne excavator, and I'll need it for one day, and I'll be using it for just under 2 3/4 hours. These calculations are highlighted in yellow as they may require my judgment, as it's impossible for the programme to know the ground conditions of this site. I can also click on the red question mark. Here I can see how much time is allowed to excavate each cubic metre. Again, I won't be altering this, but you can if you want, directly in the picture. I can see how many tonnes of hogging have been allowed for my sub-base here. If you want to change the aggregate for your sub-base, just use the drop-down menu and select the type of aggregate you'll be using. I'll need a compactor for a day, and the costs are based on me using it for 1 hour. Like the excavator, this is highlighted in yellow, so if you want to increase or decrease the hours, you can do so. Matting is allowed. I'm not actually going to be using this, so I will untick the box, and instantly the costs and hours are removed. I'll need one 1-tonne bag of plastering sand for my blinding. If you wanted to choose a different material, you can use the drop-down menu here to select what you want to use. If I just click on the question mark, I can see the blinding depth that I entered in the red cells at the start of my pricing. If for any reason you wanted to change this, you can do so here in the picture. If you're doing concrete edging on your pathway, all of the costs, hours and quantities are shown here. You can also use the drop-down menu here to select the type of edging you want, and by clicking on the red question mark for the lean mix for concrete edgings, you can use the self-explanatory diagram to see the dimensions for the flaunching, and if required, you can alter them directly in the picture. I'm actually going to be using timber edgings on my concrete pathway, so I will untick the concrete edgings and the lean mix for them, and I'll now tick the timber edgings option and the stakes for the timber edgings. Immediately, all of the costs for the timber edging are calculated, whilst the concrete edging costs have all been removed. I'm going to need 32 linear metres of treated softwood for my timber edgings, and 39 stakes. You can easily change the material type by using the drop-down menu here. If you are not doing any edgings, you can just untick these boxes, or use the timber edgings row to calculate the shuttering by selecting a suitable material in the drop-down. Finally, I have my waste disposal. Just to show you, I'm going to select an 8-yard skip. I can see that I'll need one of these. However, the access for this site is really restricted and there isn't a lot of room, so I'm actually going to use a 3-yard skip. When I select this, I can see I'll need 2 and all the costs are worked out. The totals for my plant, materials, hours, labour and total cost can all be found here along the bottom.